Who first gave the gods their voice? Imagine a mortal daring to speak for Zeus, Hera, or Aphrodite, capturing their passions, flaws, and sorrows. Someone did more than tell stories, they made the gods relatable, turning distant deities into characters as complex as any human. This act of creation bridged heaven and earth, shaping Western culture forever. The name that echoes through time is Homer, the poet who dared to script the dramas of the gods. But who was Homer, really? And how did he compose the songs that gave the gods their eternal voice? Homer's name is legendary, yet the man himself is a mystery. Was he from Chios, Smyrna, or another city? No one knows for sure. Tradition paints him as a blind bard, a wandering singer whose inner vision saw truths hidden from ordinary eyes. His blindness became a symbol of insight, transforming him into a vessel for the muses. The epics begin with a prayer to the muse, declaring the story as divine truth, not mere invention. Whether Homer was one man or many, his name marks the moment oral tales became the epic poems we know today. He gave the Western world its first and greatest literary treasures. The Iliad and the Odyssey are more than adventure tales, they are poems of sorrow and loss. The Iliad mourns the cost of war, showing the grief and futility that touch victors and vanquished alike. The Odyssey is a meditation on loneliness and the longing for home, as Odysseus endures endless trials and despair. Homer's genius was to infuse these grand stories with deep sadness, making them elegies for what is lost and can never be regained. His heroes and gods suffer, mourn, and endure, their stories echoing the sorrows of all humanity. These epics are not about triumph, but about the endurance of grief. Homer gave the gods a voice, and that voice often sang of loss. The Iliad plunges us into the final weeks of the Trojan War, sparked by a personal feud between Achilles and Agamemnon. Achilles' pride leads to tragedy, setting off a chain of events that devastates both Greeks and Trojans. The gods are not distant, they meddle, take sides, and reveal their own flaws. Hera and Athena back the Greeks, Apollo and Aphrodite support the Trojans. Zeus tries to stay neutral but is swayed by his family. Mortals fight for glory, but their fates are often decided by the whims of the gods. Hector's bravery cannot save him from destiny, and his death is a tragedy shaped by divine rivalry. The climax is not victory, but shared grief. Priam and Achilles, united in mourning, weep for their losses. In that moment they are simply men, not enemies bound by suffering. The gods too are moved by this sorrow. Homer's mournful song is not about conquest, but about the universal pain of loss. This is the true heart of the Iliad. If the Iliad is an elegy for war, the Odyssey is an elegy for its aftermath. Odysseus's journey home becomes a decade-long ordeal marked by loneliness and despair. Stripped of his identity, he becomes a wanderer haunted by memories and loss. The gods shape his fate. Poseidon's wrath keeps him from home, while Athena's guidance offers hope. Odysseus's struggle is as much against destiny as against monsters or storms. He is profoundly alone even among others, longing for home and haunted by the dead. When he finally returns, he is a stranger in his own land, scarred by years of suffering. The Odyssey is a lament for lost time and the burden of survival. It is the song of the one who made it home, forever changed. Homer's genius was to let even the gods grieve. Immortality does not spare them from pain, it deepens their sorrow. Zeus weeps for his mortal son Sarpedon, unable to defy fate. Thetis, a goddess, mourns Achilles, knowing she cannot save him. The gods are bound by fate, their power limited, their conflicts tragic. In the Odyssey, Poseidon's anger brings him no peace, and the gods are trapped by their own natures. Homer's portrayal of suffering gods was revolutionary, collapsing the distance between divine and mortal. The universe he created is governed by beings who understand loss because they feel it. This shared sorrow unites gods and humans, making Homer's world both terrifying and comforting. His divine elegy is a song for all who know grief. Homer's elegies mourned the fate of cities and heroes, expressing communal sorrow on an epic scale. Over time, the elegy shifted inward. Roman poets like Ovid turned the form to personal loss, love, heartbreak, and longing. By the Romantic era, the elegy became a vehicle for private grief, as in Tennyson's In Memoriam or Shelley's Adonais. The modern elegy is intimate, focused on individual pain rather than collective tragedy. Homer's sorrow was a vast ocean. Today's elegy is a quiet pool, Both forms reflect the pain of loss, but their focus has changed. Homer mourned for all humanity, modern poets mourn for themselves. The elegy has evolved, but its heart remains the same, to give voice to sorrow. From lost glory to lost love, the elegy endures. Nearly 3,000 years later, Homer's voice still echoes. His stories shape the archetypes and questions that define Western literature. The Iliad and the Odyssey are not relics, but living works that ask, is our fate fixed? Can even gods suffer? Homer's heroes are defined by vulnerability, not invincibility. Every war story that explores trauma, every journey home, owes a debt to him. He blurred the lines between gods and mortals, making both more human. The blind poet's song endures, a divine elegy for the ages, reminding us that grief and hope are universal. Homer's epics are not just our beginning, they are our constant companion, forever asking, will our own sorrows echo through time?